Good morning, good morning. Hello all YouTube family. Today we are working on the E36 M3. What is happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reassembling some of the interior. We're going to be throwing in a Dinan short shifter kit for the E36 M3. All right, so I've been kind of like waiting to put some of my interior pieces back together. Did go ahead and get a new shift knob, and we have all of the OEM factory stuff here. So we're going to be slowly reassembling the interior. I waited to do all of this because I wanted to put this in. So obviously I have the short throw kit from Dinan. This was supplied by ECS Tuning. Huge shout out to those guys. There are some instructions here if you'd like to follow along and learn how to do it. Looks like it fits a bunch of different cars, E36s, all the way up to M5s. Lots of good stuff. But basically the way to do this, we got to get underneath the car. We're going to jack the car up, put it on jack stands. We got to pop out the securing clip with like a flathead or something like that. And then we should be able to pull it out from the top. The way that I have it set up right now, this thing's a mess. But the previous owner, I'm pretty sure, like glued this thing on here. I've put all my force into it and I can't get it off, and they should never be that tough to get off. So I might have to break that off when it's actually off the car. But basically we just pull off this rubber piece right here. We're just gonna go ahead and lift it out. It literally just pops right out. And then we can access some of the stuff from the top, but we are gonna have to get underneath to get to that linkage, the shift linkage, and remove that clip. And then we should be able to get it out. It shouldn't be that tough. This is obviously like a short throw kit, so it makes the throw a little bit shorter, and it's gonna create a little bit more of like a notchy feeling, which I sort of like. It's very like rubbery and loose feeling right now. This is gonna help with that a lot. Plus, this is just like part of putting the interior back together, which I really am excited to kind of see this car come back together. Once I put in my lightweight door cards and I have like my new steering wheel and the cage and everything, it's gonna start to look like a complete car. Right now, it's just sorta in shambles. I can also run a harness when I get my roll cage in, which will be dope. So that's the plan for today. Let's get moving. We're gonna go ahead and jack the car up first and start working on it. All right, got her up on jack stands. Pardon the fan noise, but guys, it's super hot, so I gotta run that damn thing. Okay, the AC dripping like crazy down there. Don't worry, it's not oil. So this boot needs to come up. There we go. A little bit harder with one hand, but that is what we're dealing with. Look at how jacked up my factory one is. Dude, it's just completely destroyed. If you can take all this stuff off beforehand, it's gonna make your life a lot easier. But unfortunately I can't. But the clip, we should be able to get that retention clip off with a long flathead screwdriver. Something like this we'll probably do. So let's get under there and see if we can find it. All right, y'all, you're gonna have to bear with me on this one. You can see just the bottom of the boot, and you can just barely see that plastic piece showing. Below that, above this giant drive shaft, is a little clip that holds the linkage in place onto the shifter. So the idea is to remove that clip and then pop out the linkage, and then we should be able to pull the piece up. So there's just the edge of that shift linkage, and there's a little C-clip on the edge of that shift linkage. So we need to pop that off. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, so to sort of give you an idea of what's going on, here's the new shifter, right? You have the shift linkage that goes through, there's a pin that goes through this, and then on the other side of that pin is this little C retaining clip. It's gonna be fastened on the other end like that. This was the tool that I used, a little pick tool to get it off, and that just seemed to work the best because I could go from underneath, grab the edge of it, and just pull, and then it popped right off. So that's that. And then once you remove that clip, you just pop out the actual pin from the linkage, and then the linkage will disconnect from the shifter. Here's the new one, obviously. Looks really, really nice. All right, so to explain the next part to you guys, I am gonna need two hands to do it, so it's gonna be difficult for you guys to see. You can see down here, my shift linkage and everything is out. But the way to get this actual shifter out is you need to rotate this plastic ring in here. So I'm gonna wedge the needle nose in there on that plastic disc, and we're gonna turn the whole shifter and the plastic ring 90 degrees, and then it should pull the complete assembly out. All right, so now that it's out, it's a little bit easier to explain, but you have those clips around there. You're literally twisting the whole thing. I think it was like 90 degrees, maybe a little bit more, and you'll feel it, it just pops right out. And then you can go ahead and remove the entire shifter. It should be a little bit easier for you because you can take off your shift knob and your boot. In my case, whoever put this on, pretty sure they like cement glued this thing to here. But that is effectively how you remove that, guys. And then it's just a matter of throwing in our new one, which, oh my God, is that gonna be satisfying. Brand new, beautiful, clean shifter. I'm looking forward to it. All right, so if you guys are doing this, just make sure that you read the instructions because everything is literally in there that you're seeing me do. Applications are different depending on which kind of car you have. Since I have an M3, you need this little ring. It's like an adapter ring. And then they do give you some extra O-rings if you need them. Once we actually install the shifter, this is gonna go right here on the bottom side. So we are gonna secure that into place. And then of course, everything will go back together just like it was. We'll have the shift linkage come through. Make sure that you clean and grease your linkage pin and the inside of this, and then go ahead and slide it back in, and then go ahead and lock it back in with your clip. When the shifter comes, it's gonna have these retaining clips right there, and then one inside under there. We need to move those up to this notch, only for the M3. So we're gonna move that all the way up to there. That allows it to sink deeper into the actual gearbox area. So retaining clip in there, Check out the instructions, see it in there. So now it is fully lubed up. All the rings have been moved around. If you guys damage any of the bushings, those little like rubber washers, they give you a couple of extra ones just in case. So now we should be able to put it in the car and it should sink all the way down. And then there's a retention clip that's gonna go on the underside, and then that little retaining clip, and we should be good. This guy's literally just gonna pop in there like that. And it should be flush. Like super tight with that washer. Nothing should be moving around. I'm gonna go ahead and pop underneath the car. While I was under there, I did go ahead and clean up the actual shift linkage, and then I'm going to re-grease the actual pin that goes through the bottom of the shifter. Okay, controversial moment. Dinan tells you that you need to run this little like adapter thing. I was not able to get the entire shifter all the way through with that adapter ring. As soon as I took the adapter ring off, it went right into place. And then I could get that retention clip underneath on the bottom of the shifter secured. With that adapter ring though, there was no way that was happening. So I don't know if like, maybe it's for certain years, but they definitely say M3 adapter ring. And you would assume that that's to be used with M3s, but didn't work for me. So I just discarded that and now it works perfectly. It fit flush, went all the way in, and I could get that clip on the bottom. Tools are a funny thing. You just kind of buy them as you need them. Nothing quite like a mid-installation run to the hardware store to grab a $35 snap ring pliers. But that is what we had to do. In order to get this guy on, you are going to need this guy. If you need one, I'll have it linked down below. So you can see the blue poking through right there. That is where that snap ring is gonna go, just on the end. All right, there it is. I got it in. There's no easy way to put it, you guys. That part sucks. We are good to go underneath the car. Let's go up top, start playing around with that shifter. Good boy. Oh, dude. Never leave the grease opened on the ground. You squirt. All right, pretty much done here, boys. I called BMW, ordered this boot. Should be here tomorrow. I have a new actual like shift boot coming as well. I already have a shift knob. But let's go ahead and hop in the car. We now have everything hooked up so we can like move the gear around and see how it feels. Nice. I like it. It's good. It's a much shorter shift, that's for sure. A much shorter throw, a little bit more like of a notchy feel, but I kind of like that, to be honest with you. The stock one is just very like rubbery and has a lot of float to it. This feels like I can feel the gear better, you know? This feels a little bit better. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Let's throw the shift knob on. Now I'm not gonna like slam this thing on yet because obviously I still have some other parts that are coming, but at least we can, you know, get a little visual representation of what we got here. Oh yeah, guys, frickin' money, dude. This thing feels great. Awesome. That is a job well done, my friends. So what's gonna happen next for me is I'm gonna probably start assembling all this stuff back into the car. I did some cleaning on it last night. It's really easy, it just snaps right back in. It's nothing like amazing. So I'll just go ahead and throw that in real quick right now. Now I promised you guys that I would bring you along for the ride with all the stuff that I'm doing from here on out. You know, a lot of this preliminary stuff, these gaskets, these seals, these trim pieces, these moldings. I did that all myself, just I wanted to get it done. And it wasn't exciting, it wasn't very entertaining, so I just knocked it out. But from here on out, man, I'm gonna bring you guys along for the ride. In the near future, we've got the KWs going on this weekend. I'm gonna do that with my buddy Chris. I have the brakes, I have brand new rotors, brand new pads, gonna be doing that as well. I'm also going to be cleaning the entire underside of the car. This car does have leaks. It has leaks like from the differential, the transmission, the engine. It's just an older car, it's a BMW. There are going to be oil leaks and just random leaks all over the place. The first step to assess those leaks and accurately see where they're coming from, I'm gonna clean. We're gonna use some brake cleaner and I'm gonna go through the entire bottom side of the car. I've already started wiping stuff down, seeing exactly where these little leaks are coming from, and that's gonna help me pinpoint exactly what is leaking. Is it a plug? Is it a gasket? Is it a seal? And then from there, we have a better understanding as to what we need to replace. I already have all of the bushings, all of the mounts, everything I need for this car on the underside. So as always, guys, this project, it's gonna be a long road, but I'm really determined to make this thing drive as good as it looks. I'm gonna be honest with you right now, the car drives like absolute camel cock. It is not very good. It's pretty rough. There's just a lot of little things that like are rattling, leaking. With the alignment out of whack, it just doesn't drive well. But it looks amazing, and we want to get this car to drive really good. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. The Dinan shift knob, a little bit weird that I didn't have to use this adapter ring, but whatever. I guess that's just the way it is on my car. Who knows, man? Contrary to the Supra, you know, this car is really bringing back a lot of memories for me. I used to work on cars when I was like 16 or 17. In my garage, my first cars, Honda days. If you guys know, you know. I would just put it on jack stands and I would just start wrenching. No matter what it was, I had a lot of older Hondas. I had an EK hatch with like a B16 swap in it. You know, with the Supra, I don't do a ton of the work on that car, like the heavier work myself, but I made sure that with this car, I wanted to be the one wrenching, and it feels good. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.